El Chapo, the big drug dealer, threatening El Donald. Charlie Gasparino says this might actually be good for Donald in some way because at least it puts him in the papers, right? He gets free publicity.
Right. I mean, and you just saw Charles' amazing interview with Donald Trump. I mean, you know, he's the gift that keeps on giving for TV, especially business journalists. I mean, here's the thing with Donald. I think he understands the calculus here. He doesn't have to spend a dime on this campaign. He lost some connection, business dealings with Macy's and a few others. I did a story today in the Daily Beast, which says it adds up to about $50 million.
That's a lot of cash,
no,
even for Donald. No.
If you think he's worth $1 billion, right, it's 5% of his net worth. If you think he's worth $4 billion, as Forbes said, it's a lot less. If you think he's worth $9 billion, as he says, it's really a lot less. And how much does it cost to run for president? I mean, these guys are raising. I mean, Jeb is going to have to run.
Perhaps $1.5 billion by Hillary.
And Jeb Bush. So, even Ted Cruz has to go out there and raise $50 million. So I look at it in that context. Donald is not going to buy, I believe, any TV ads. He has some crazy Instagram ad out there. I can't imagine he spent a lot of money on that. He's going to keep doing these interviews. You think
he pulls out before the end, before the actual Republican
My view is that
convention?
This is a business decision that Donald is doing here, and at some point he's going to realize that he's milked it for all he can, and he's going to go back to being the reality TV star because people are going to.
So there's no danger of him running as a third-party candidate, being the Ross Perot at the garden party.
Listen, I'm not in his head. If he thinks he can take his brand higher, then yes, there is a danger. This is all a business calculation for him because he knows he's.
Because if that happens, if he runs as third party, Hillary's a shoo-in, right?
Okay, yeah, but here's the thing: does he think that he can take his brand even higher by running as a third party? Does he think that? That is the calculus here. If he thinks he can make,
it's all about his brand.
I think so. And then people say this is hurting his brand. I don't think so. I mean, I think he's always was controversial. I think at some point someone's going to want another reality TV.
So the $50 million he's lost is an accounting error.
Let me ask you this. If Donald Trump, if another network put Donald Trump on at Apprentice right now, wouldn't you be more inclined to watch him just because he's so crazy?
He's the most, no question, he is the most entertaining, whether you agree with him or disagree with him, he's the most entertaining candidate out there,
and
right?
Most entertaining businessman. I mean, most of these CEOs are boring. I mean, look at him.
Quickly, Twitter. What's the story?
Well, that was a fake report that they were talking to buyers, and it was a fake Bloomberg report. We should point out what I reported about 2 months ago, that Twitter, my banking sources says Twitter is open for sale. Now you need to tango, you need two sides, right? And there's a lot of, and people have said for years that Mark Zuckerberg at Facebook is interested, that Google might be interested. I think those are the parties that Twitter would like to sell to. But if I should point out, if Zuckerberg goes for it, he's going to get a backlash from his investors. They don't want that deal. Yeah. Google could have backlash as well. I mean, this is. I'm
getting a backlash from my producer.
Well, just tell him it takes two to tango here.
Charlie Gasparino, good to see you, my friend. Well, next, oil keeping.